So you have to have an engagement with them to figure out, well, why do they think that masks are useless or something along those lines? So you have to, I mean, it's really crucial to engage with the person to figure out where they're at. It really is.
And in your experience, does that, I mean, there's certain topics right now that are almost impossible to talk about. Like you can't, there's certain things you could say about hot button issues. And I'm going to just keep going with the police brutality thing because that's been brought up. But, you know, the one thing that I would point out was that, you know, there's also white people who die at the hands of police. So is this just a race issue if there's also people of other races who are suffering from this? And so that, saying that, you know, I'm a progressive, I'm a liberal, I have only voted Democrat, you know, I've never voted for a Republican candidate pretty much at any election. But that, saying that can get me labeled as alt-right, or it can get me labeled as a racist myself. So how does street epistemology help us navigate these conversations that are just riddled with landmines?
There's a lot of landmines out there, and some people don't even want to navigate them. They would just rather close their browser down and not even have the engagement or not talk to their family member. So that's an option for people, but it's an unfortunate one. And I think a lot of people are burned by previous interactions. And yes, you're right. Sometimes revealing your position on a sensitive topic can alienate you from your own tribe, which is really quite unfortunate. Because the only way that we're going to figure out what the truth of the matter is if we have dialogue with each other. That's crucial. And it's kind of disconcerting when members of your own tribe will almost be just as effective at interfering with your progress as the person who you might disagree with. So sometimes just explaining it's a little tough when you're having a dialogue on a sensitive topic where there's other people around, particularly if it's like in the text messages of a Facebook post or something like that. What we're finding, at least what I'm finding, is that those are great places to find people to talk to. But if you can bring them into a video chat or ideally face to face, you're going to probably have a better, meaning more honest and open and productive conversation than if you are very gingerly putting your words out so that you're walking this really fine balancing line between alienating yourself from your own tribe and upsetting the person that you're speaking with. So I guess the solution to that probably is just the recognition that, hey, listen, I'm attempting something different here. I want to engage with this person and ask them questions, and I might even reveal things about my own position that you may disagree with. But go with it here with me, and maybe by the end of it, you'll be enamored with the method that I'm using when I'm engaging with our opponent. That you might want to look into it further so that you can engage with me on the things that we disagree with. So like I said earlier, I want to get to the point where most people in the population are familiar with this tool so that we can not only use it with the people that we disagree with, but people within our own tribes where we have these subtle differences. That could be, I mean, today, if you disagree with one person on one thing, even though you align with all this other stuff, they might unfriend you just because of that. And it's really kind of sad and problematic. But I'm optimistic about this approach. I think there's something to it. I think it's potentially the solution to the problem that we're facing today.
Yeah. The problem being the lack of communication between opposing viewpoints.
Not only the lack of communication, but the just the blatant disregard for the other side, the dehumanization of the other side, just the quick dismissal of a person's position just because we disagree with them. Yeah, it's really problematic. But